Welcome to Making the Grade, the podcast that digs into why so many startups stall between funding rounds and how you can scale your venture-backed software company with realistic options to exit. Each week, I'm going to be exploring the biggest challenges facing founders, investors, and go-to-market leaders in today's hyper-competitive landscape. From misaligned go-to-market strategies to inefficient sales and marketing execution, we're going to break down what's holding companies back and also how to scale more wisely, how to avoid common pitfalls, and build growth that actually lasts. This isn't about theory. It's about practical insights. It's about honest conversations and real-world stories from people who've been through the trenches and come out stronger. Because here's the truth. Less than 1% of seed stage startups make it to Series D. And around 75% of VC-backed companies actually never return meaningful capital to investors. That's a brutal reality, but it doesn't have to be your story. It's time to make scaling a little less depressing and a whole lot more strategic. So if you're a founder, an investor, or a go-to-market leader, this is the podcast you didn't know you needed. We officially launch next week, but before then, here's a sneak peek at some of the conversations coming your way this season.
Marketing has become an utter science, and Google and Meta have pushed marketeers to become scientists. But I think they've lost the ability to do anything creative with it. There's so much laziness because of that. And we see a lot of marketing execution, which is just pure science and not enough of the art.
A non-exec will say, or an investment director will say, the number one attribute or skill that a sales needs to have is the ability to close deals or hit their numbers. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The number one skill that a commercial leader for a growing business needs is the ability to hire and retain talent. That's it.
A CRO is great once you have a team of SDRs and account execs and all those things to lead that and give the structure around that. But in that first grassroots moment, you need somebody who can literally roll up their sleeves and can go from, doing the cold calling or whatever the case may be to writing up the playbooks of how the process works.
We put the two businesses together very deliberately because we saw an opportunity to create an asset of scale that had really compelling financial metrics, but ultimately also have a proposition that was really unique within the market.
And I think in 99 times out of 100, a founder transition like this is down to either investors are unhappy with the founder as the CEO, or the founder has got some health crisis and so neither of those things apply to me. As you can see, I'm perfectly healthy and very energized about the world and what Artificials is up to. So neither of those things applied to me. It was something that I wanted to go back to what I did at the beginning, my passion, which is talking to people, persuading people that there's a different and a better way to uncover potential.
If you are looking at your diary and you don't see at least like every fortnight or so, at least one customer call, like as an early stage founder, I think that's a red flag and you should go and interrogate that immediately.
Something I wish somebody had said to me back in the day would be don't sell churn. So what I mean by that is there is, as I've already alluded to, especially with early VC money, there's just this massive pressure to grow fast. And so you take any business. I've definitely done that. I've definitely been that sales guy who's sold to anyone who's shown any interest, sold vaporware, whatever it might be. But I think that does come and bite you on the butt later on. So what does that mean when I say don't sell churn? It means get your ICP right. Get your targeting and segmentation accurate.
I've also seen businesses that are really product obsessed businesses, but they almost they don't want to show their work until it's done, and I think that's a real error, right? You need to not only be in front of clients early, like to improve the product, but you need to be asking that hard question of what would it take for you to pay for this?
The VC model is designed around this idea of the power law. They back their winners. Mm-hmm. But it's not very few companies can deliver triple, double, and become unicorns. But actually the venture ecosystem, the innovation economy generates really, really good businesses, but not all of them can become these stars.
when we raised money, it was, okay, you're ready to scale up. So you now need a senior leadership team and you need a CRO, a CMO, a CPO. We were like 30 people. And the next thing we knew, you hire those people and they go, well, I need a head of, I need a director of. And before you know it, you're 70 people and you're going, I've spent all this money but did we achieve what we wanted to achieve? No, because we were told this is the things that you should do, as opposed to being allowed to be in a more measured way. Now, knowing that you've got the money in the bank allows you then to start planning and thinking in an ambitious way, but it doesn't mean that you should just run out there and spend it.
That's it for now, but episode 1 drops next Thursday. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube, and you'll be the first to know when we go live. So see you next week for the very first episode of Making the Grade.